About 100 years ago when I was a pitching coach, one of my mentors was Sparky Anderson. And we spent a lot of time together for a couple of months each year. And one of the things that he was really adamant about, really big on, was that we would be men, that we would take responsibility for our actions, we'd accept the consequences of our decisions, that we would take responsibility. So I want to talk to you about how a couple of other really important famous people in life have thought about this. I turned the lesson into this for pitchers, that when we get ready to pitch and we're taking that sign from the catcher and we start our movement, whatever that might be, we start our first movement, that from that point on, we are seeking perfection in our delivery. We are seeking perfection in terms of velocity, location, and movement on our pitch. But once that pitch leaves that little tiny spot on our middle finger and we've thrown it as best we can with perfection, we have no more control over what happens. The guy might hit a great pitch. The umpire might miss the call on a great pitch. I mean, who knows what might happen? The guy might hit a ground ball to shortstop, might go through his legs. I mean, who knows? Who knows what might happen? Or he might get the guy out. But no matter what happens, the pitcher has to take responsibility for it. Because if the pitcher doesn't take responsibility for whatever the outcome is, there is no reason for the pitcher to come to practice tomorrow. There's no reason for the pitcher to ever get better because it's not your fault. It's not your responsibility. It's somebody else's fault. Umpire missed the call. Batter got lucky. Shortstop blew it. Whatever. There's no reason for you to come to practice and up the bar for what perfection is for you. Increase velocity, increase movement, and get better at location, whatever. So that taking responsibility becomes the core point in this video. About 600 years before the birth of Christ, so 2,600 years ago-ish, about, lived a famous Chinese philosopher, Lao Tzu. And he had a formula for how our brains worked, how our life went. And this formula is really important. I'd like you to write it down, think about it. This was a long time ago. And he looked at the importance of our thoughts. Now, today we know that our mind is in charge. Our mind, when we think thoughts, when we have our will and our emotions and our mind, it actually changes the structure of our brains. It's an amazing thing. Your thoughts change the structure of your brain. So really, he said, watch out for your thoughts because this is how powerful your thoughts are. Your thoughts will impact and shape your attitudes. So if you have positive thoughts, shapes positive attitudes. You have negative thoughts, shapes negative attitudes about yourself. Remember we talked about your beliefs about yourself, other people, the world around you, the nature of God, and about your future. Your thoughts shape your attitudes. Your attitudes will shape your decisions. We make decisions in life through the grid of our beliefs and our attitudes. So thoughts to attitudes shape our decisions, and we have to live with the consequences of our decisions all the time. Decisions determine our actions and our words. What we say to other people, what we say to ourselves, but the actions that we take, determined by our decisions that we keep inside our heart about the world, who we want to be, and so on. And our actions and words, then we repeat those and they become our habits. And our habits form our character, and our character shapes our destiny. So this chain, thoughts to attitudes, decisions become our actions repeated become our habits become our character, and our character becomes our destiny. It's really important. Starts back with our thoughts. So let me just review one really, really big thought to consider. So we started off talking about this lesson. It's an important lesson. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, what your job is, doesn't matter. In life, when something happens, we have a choice. We'll either take responsibility and work to fix it, make it better, work so that it doesn't happen again, or we'll blame other people for it. And we won't get better ourselves. We'll just stay exactly the same. We'll just want other people to change. So if something bad happens, we either take responsibility for it or we blame other people. So let me ask you, in your life, who are you? What are your thoughts? What are your attitudes? What are the choices that you make? What are your habits that you have? Hey, what's your destiny based on that? Take your time, watch this video again, write some things down, and let's see if we can change the course of our life from where it seems to be headed right now into some really bigger and better place.